Okay, so basically, I'm from India, so this is my first DrupalCon. I'm going to demonstrate about Drupal's bundle classes. So before I going to demonstrate, did anyone aware of what is Drupal bundle classes? Oh, good. Many people has used that then. Okay, fine. So, yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, so myself, Santosh Kumar. So basically, I am from India, as I mentioned previously. I do have around 5 years of experience in Drupal. Along with Drupal, I work with Node.js, React.js, and bit of WordPress. And along with that, I used to manage the DevOps, CI/CD pipelines, Docker, a bit of DevOps related things. And basically, I'm from a company called Moondraft Innovation Labs, which we used to call UST right now. Yep. So, what are Drupal bundle classes? So I think we used to use in Drupal hooks, mostly like with the Symfony, we used to get the hooks. What are the logic we need? We used to define everything in the hooks, and that makes bit of, if we want to make a reusable code or reusable logic somewhere inside our entities, right, it will be a bit difficult. So that's where we get the bundle classes. So some of the benefits that we get with the bundle classes. So you can create your own set of logic for any entity that you want in your, suppose you have a lot of entities that in your application. So you have some pre-process logic that you have to do, either like you need to do form alter, or you need to do template suggestions, or you need to do any pre-process view that you need to perform some logics inside that, where like we can separate that logic into a PHP classes, so that can be used across your inside your modules. It mainly like it improves the developer experience instead of like you depends on hook mechanism. So why this came up? Basically, I think we do use entities like content types or like an objects that we use inside our applications. Suppose like example, we do have a node or entity or any other entity that we need. So we can't subclass of that. We can't do a subclassing of your node entity. Where like using these bundle classes, what are the existing entities that Drupal provides, right? So using these bundle classes, you can extend your main classes and you define your own logics inside that. So how does it helps? So we used to write template suggestions or Twig extensions that we need anything if we want to do. If we want to print something like a body field, that a particular content type body field value that you need inside your Twig template, again you will be going to your Twig suggestion, Twig extension that you will be writing and getting that inside the Twig template, or Twig files that you will be kinted. So with using these bundle classes, example, you have a node, assume like you have a basic page, so you need to get the body value of a basic page. So what you can do is like you can create a class for your node entity here, and you define your logic inside that, just directly like what are you use inside the bundle classes, right? That will be always available to the main entity. So you don't need to write your custom Twig pre-processing anything to this. So also like it helps in lot of ways. Suppose you writing some automation testing for your particular project, you have some logic inside your hooks. That will be a bit difficult to write an automation scripts. Suppose you make that logic inside into your PHP class, so it will be very easy, I think, to do that automation testing. So also if you want to use a dependency injection or encapsulation, inheritance, whatnot, all the oops concepts that you want to include, right? If you write something inside your hooks, it will be a bit difficult to do some dependency injection, or to share your logic, or to write an interface, or to write an abstract class for your thing. It will be a bit difficult. So using these bundle classes, you can use your object oriented patterns here. So what we used to do traditionally, so we used to use hooks, alter something, and we get the output. So we'll be like writing some hooks in theme, some hooks in modules. So we'll be defining our logic. Suppose in the future we get some other new requirement, we'll just going inside your, if suppose you have like lot of modules, right? So you'll be going across the modules and you'll have to see what hooks you have written, what logic you have written. If you want to alter that, it will be a bit difficult. So in the new bundle classes, right, everything can be defined in your class-based mechanism. Anything that you want to extend, you'll just go to your class and just modify your logic, or you can just extend that. So if how we can use this? So there were two hooks that Drupal provides. This has been introduced from Drupal 9.3 version. So you can use a bundle and info alter and info hook. So there were like some of the issue queues that was mentioned where this implementation came from. Yep. So if you have any logic for your particular application, so you can use as a kind of a reusable logic, or the reusable like how we used to use services, right? A similar way we can write, segregate all your logic and reduce coupling between the modules, and that's where you can start using sharing the code between the modules or the application. I'll go through some of the examples, maybe like you'll get some familiarity, like how exactly we are using these compared to the traditional hooks that we used to use. So if you see, there is a hook called info alter. So suppose like you have a basic page, you want to get some body field value in for that basic page. So we'll just use a hook, and then if you have some pre-process logic that you want to do, you'll just implement that in your hook. Now what we can do is, here you can see there is a class called attached, so basic page class. So in the right side you can see I have defined my own class and getting the body value there. So now if you want to, when you are anywhere, when you are getting the node, you are loading the node, the automatically whatever the class you have attached the hook, it will be available. So you don't need now now like there is a function called get body. You go to Twig template, just use node.getBody. Now you are not writing any Twig extensions here, so you just define your class. Similar way, like you can use interfaces, traits, or the abstract classes. So all your implementations can go into that, and people can reuse that. So like if you just consider like a node, so node has a basic Drupal gives a body field or image field or the taxonomy default or tag that you have, right? So if you want to kint it all these values inside a Twig template, so by default, like if you have any pre-process logic involved into that, so for those things you can just define your abstract class or the interface or the traits, the implementations that you can define. So all those things you can just attach to your bundle. Either it's a node bundle or the any other taxonomy bundle or what are the entity bundle you want, you just attach those, and then automatically those will be available as part of your bundle. So this is the same example that I was informing about to get the body value. So suppose like you have some computing logic that you need to define for your custom field. So now what you will do is you will just do any fields hook alter, and you do your logic inside that hook. Now what you can do is, here you can use this hook, you can segregate all your logic inside your class, and you can just attach here. As you can see here, so I was just attaching using set class. Yeah. Now how this will react to load your entities. So like at any time, like if you define your logic inside your bundle classes, right? So instead of like node tends to bundle, you call it automatically. If you see, there is a basic page interface that I have implemented somewhere. So now I don't need to call bundle here. Automatically, what are the subclasses, the entity classes you define, those will be automatically available as part of node object here. So similarly, like an abstract class that you have written, like hashtags, you have written some implementation. Now I'm just calling $node tends to hashtags. So because I already used node and then I have written a bundle class for that, so automatically you have that abstract class implementation, whatever you have written, right, that will be available as part of the node object. So this is one good example. Suppose you need to define some set of access permissions. So suppose you have used call entity access hook, and you written some custom logic for specific entity type that you have written. In the future, after a few days, after a few months, you got one more content type that you have created and you want to implement some, entity access based permissions. So here what you can do is, if you write that specific logic inside your bundle class, you just attach that into the bundle class. So that will be automatically easily available. And along with that, in the future also, if any business logic you need to perform for some other entities, so you just reuse that. Yep. And there were some exceptions that also provides by this bundle class. Suppose like if you are using the same class, again it will use the ambiguous exception class, and similar way will has inheritance exception class that you let. So the conclusion is like, if you not dependent on pre-processing, if you are have multiple pre-processor logics or the business functionalities that involved in your site, so it's better like to define basically, like by default Drupal doesn't provides you like this kind of thing. Previous versions from 9.3 this has been implemented. Like any entity in Drupal, you can define your bundle class. It means like you are preparing some functionality to the main entity. So where like you want to use in your modules or themes anywhere. So that will help us to maintain the code clean and write an automated testing and debugging. And along with that, like at any time, if you not remember what hooks you has written, just go to the class, and any other developer who has just checked into our code, it will be very easy for them to just identify. So what like the main entity has been defined in bundle classes and what need to be implemented along with that. So with this, you can fully implement the object-oriented concepts as well. I think that's it. Thank you.